Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and the Denver Broncos. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Set, ready? 18 Gator. Now.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now back to throw. And it's complete. Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Let's go.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line.
You draw Parker.
Now they run from the gun with Gordon. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
On 2nd down now, it's Gordon, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Here we go. 30 base. Yo. Get it.
They'll set up a throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's back. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he rifles one incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to the ground now with Gordon. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down.
Go, go. Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Nice, sweetheart.
They're going to look to throw. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
64, weak.
Second and 13. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Couple of plays sent him the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, Alpha. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Snap.
They'll set up to throw. And he's going to go down again. Like a freight train off the edge, Calais Campbell with a sack. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Check. Recon, 152 fighter. Hey, exit. Back. Hard. Out. 36. Fight.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits. and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mike 49. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Check 9. Check 9. Check 31. Yep.
Shoot. On second down, it's Lindsey. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. 27 yards there, a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. No gain, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10.
Topper! Undertouch. Get it.
On second down, here's Locke. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
On the set. Block 52. 52's the mic. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? Let's go.
They go back to the ground now with Lindsey. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Phillip Lindsey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right?
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. On Miller, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Charger football to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Hey, echo.
He'll drop to throw. Able to get this to Gordon. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Taking it about the 16. Well, a nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and count.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And picked up by the Chargers. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Throwing on first down is Locke. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Kenny Stills, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have retaken the lead. McManus's point after is good. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The Charger drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. X3, 218, chop.
2nd and 2. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return here will go to the 30. 21-yard line.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10.
Hey, lock it. Check. Tricks on travel.
He's coming, double up.
Hey, seam six.
After the turnover, here's Locke. This one complete to Troy Fumagalli. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
This is the tight end fan. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
70, Indy.
I'm coming after you.
They'll run with Lindsey, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
Goal at the Chargers' 5-yard line.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal.
Let's go, defense. Out of time. Let's
Protein spill.
watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Ship.
Be careful.
One more time to Lindsey. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
An extra defensive back on the field here for third and goal.
Watch safety creep. Safety.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal.
The kick by McManus is good. And that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Got it.
The Charger drive about to get going. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a first and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Second and 10 at the 24-yard line.
From the 24, they'll go again on second and 10.
Coming to you.
They run it here with Gordon. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. The Chargers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be third and 13.
Mike 54.
They'll drop to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Check. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Ready, go.
Able to slither by. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. This is caught. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now Locke. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Here's another 1st and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty. Locke going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
To throw it is Locke. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And McManus able to put it through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Charger drive about to get going. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. This is fielded at the goal line. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Leo. Give me that ball, defense. No.
6-6. Pull it high. Hey. High 7. You're out. Go.
Lock to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Melvin Ingram in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Smooth.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
Let him know.
Hard.
Let him know. Check.
Hey, Sam off.
Check. Bang.
61. Matchbox light. Now.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. He's got his tight end Fant. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
General West. 5.
Locke now on 1st down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Ready.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Hey, orbit. 10.
Locke now on 1st down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
Go.
Switch. Check 52.
Hey, lock it. You draw Corker.
SOS.
Check 3.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Hey, let's get there. Whip.
Pilot, 64. Get it.
That's caught out wide by Stills. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
At the 20-yard line.
Here we go. 10-2 soft.
Watch the pass.
Look. Squeeze. Spud.
Slam.
Look at me. Go. Go.
2nd and 5 now. Lock. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Lock now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Check.
Hey, Alpha.
57.
Now.
On first down, Lock. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
To try again after the sack. Lock. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Go set. 60 outlaw. Hey, exit.
57's Mike. Mike 57.
Hey, let's pin him in. Bam.
Hey, alert 3. Joker. Alert 3.
Hey, echo.
Alert 3.
Hey, check Mike 57.
Push him back.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lock. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well. been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the third phase, but you see here it can be the first phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
This pass finds its way to Williams, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Second and 9 at the 18-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up.
Hey, Delta.
2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He finds Taylor, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
We go! 50, plant.
54, 54. Watch the pass.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
I'm going to run you over.
They'll look to throw here. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Chargers on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and a mile. They'll set up to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Von Miller, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Von Miller. And my goodness, that means this next drive will begin 4 yards from the end zone already. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. Here's Locke. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Broncos push further out in front. Well, the defense did their job, and then, boom, a one-play drive. The offense does their job pretty well, too.
Is that called rewarding them and thanking them for what they did? They went right out and put points on the board. Thank you so much for getting us the football.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complimentary football?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now a throw out to his fullback is complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Third and 2, Locke's going to throw. Got an open man, it's Fumagalli. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
60 outlaw.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
We got 4. Hey,
here's Locke to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they just...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Mike 54. Not here. Mike 54. Mike 54.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the 1st as the tackle is made at the 33. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
Check 99. Check 99.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Snap.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. P.J. Williams with a pick. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Desmond King making the tackle.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over this entry mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner, 100 yards or more in a game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Throwing now is Locke. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's King. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over first and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now here's a throw, and that's Taywan Taylor with it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. They'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw. Ready.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and